Alright, so I'm gonna go over my MPX build here. This would be my favorite gun in the game currently, and it has been for a while. It just absolutely slaps. 72 ergo with 26 recoil. The thing's a fucking laser. Especially if you're using 7 and 31, like you will melt through absolutely anything, as long as you can hit them, which you should be able to, since you have 26 fucking recoil. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over this with you guys because I like it, and I have a clip of me getting, or a couple clips of me getting some good kills on some duos from 2 different raids, a total of 8 kills. It's a nice looking gun. It just feels super good to use, really responsive. I've never had any issues with this thing killing anyone as long as I can shoot them with it. And it just fucking looks pretty too. So, first thing first, really the two main choices for the handguard are going to be your Midwest 14-inch M-Lock grip or handguard, and the Lancer OEM, also 14 inches. You're going to be using the 14-inch barrel for this as well. Got a long boy MPX over here. It really just depends on if you're looking for the lowest possible recoil build or the highest possible ergo. The thing, as you saw, mine has 26 recoil and 70, what is it, 72 ergo. So with that, this is an ergo focused build, and it still only has 26 recoil. The lowest I can get the recoil for this build is 23. So it's 3 recoil really shouldn't matter, especially when you're already sub 30 recoil. Also, a big reason why I run the OEM for the ergo is because, one, it has higher ergo plus 12, and the Midwest M-Lock grip has plus 7, but the price difference between these, the Midwest is, you can't buy it from a trader, so it's, you know, up to the heart of the market. Basically, it's going for 83k right now, since I've seen them for over 120 when there's only like 2 or 3 on the market. The OEM, on the other hand, so if you have, also, you want max level traders for this, or else this gun is going to destroy your pockets. But yeah, the OEM, the Lancer OEM, 15k for mechanic level 4. And even if you don't have mechanic level 4, it's fucking 23k, 30k, 33k, 34, 35k max, you know? So it's such a better price to performance, in my opinion. The Midwest has -6 recoil, and the OEM has 4. So again, the lowest I can get this was 23 recoil, and I think it was like 68 ergo or something when I was going for the lowest recoil, which is still insanely high ergo. And you can say the same thing, 23 recoil to 26 recoil isn't that big of a difference. 67 or 68 ergo to 72 ergo isn't that big of a difference. So it's really just, it really is a marginal increase on either recoil or ergo, whatever you're going for. But I personally like the faster ergo. I like it to be snappy. I can hold my breath longer. I like the way my character moves with it. It looks good. The X400, it just depends on what you run, what you want to run. I like, if I'm going reserve, I'll run the X400 just because I'll usually run around in the Ratacombs. If I'm playing any other map, I'll run the Hollow Sun LS23, and I run this because you don't have the actual laser. You have the IR, the big red circle, so that way if you're holding an angle or people don't know you're there because you haven't made sound or anything like that, they won't see your fucking laser on the wall. That's why I like to use that on any other map besides reserve. But if I'm going reserve again, I'll use the flashlight because I need to see and blind some kids. The next piece is going to be, oh, where's the I don't know where I put the suppressor. The suppressor that I use, you have two suppressors that you can use. The SRD9 and the Osprey. I personally like the SRD more. I like the way it looks. Oops. It looks cleaner in my opinion. Let's pop this up here. So the accuracy on the SRD is 1 less than what it is on the Osprey. Again, it's 1. Recoil is -7 on the Osprey, and recoil is -5 on the SRD. So technically, the Osprey is better in all areas except for muzzle velocity. In ergonomics, the SRD has -6 ergonomics. The Osprey has -9. Again, I'm going for an Ergo build, and I also just like the way the SRD looks. It's all about aesthetics, right? Next thing we have here is going to be the HK Ergo grip or the Grawl. So this really depends on if you have level 4 traders or not, and if you want the highest possible Ergo. Ergo for the HK Ergo is +18, and for the Grawl it's +15. The HK Ergo, if you don't have level 4 traders, it is fucking insanely pricey. From mechanic level 4, 26k, and just on the flea market I've seen them go for over 95. Right now they're sitting at like 80, so that's a pretty hefty increase. The Grawl is like 30k, right, or $111 from Peacekeeper. Also with this build you can get a lot of these parts from Peacekeeper. They're all level 4 Peacekeeper, so if you have a lot of dollars, then I personally choose to buy them from Peacekeeper. What I do with all my weapons that I get that I'm not going to use, or after I part them out, I sell all of them to Peacekeeper to try to keep my dollars up, because I run a lot of MPXs. Like I said, they're my favorite gun in the fucking game. So any gun I get that after I strip, even if it's found in raid or whatever, I'll always sell it to Peacekeeper so I can keep my dollars up, because I'm always building not HKs, MPXs. The next thing is with the OEM, you can throw the rear MBUS on, but you can't put a front on. With the M-Lock, the Midwest, you can put a front and a rear sight on, which will give you +2 Ergo, one per piece, front and rear. If you put a rear sight on the M-Lock, if you put a PK06 on it, the rear sight will block some of your sight vision of the PK06. It's just a little bit, maybe like 10% of it, 15% of it, but I hate the way it looks. So when I used to run the Midwest 14-inch handguard, I would only put a front sight on and get 1 + 1 Ergo, because I hated it taking up some of my sight picture. But with the OEM, it doesn't. It sits perfectly. It doesn't take up any of your sight picture, but you can't put a front one on. Again, it's at fucking 72 Ergo. Do you really need it at 73? Maybe. But if you do use the Midwest 14-inch handguard, and you don't want to use a PK06 because it takes up some of that sight picture, you can use an EOTech, any of the EOTechs. It sits a little bit higher to where the rear sight doesn't take up any of the picture, and that works fine. I personally don't like the EOTech on the MPX. I don't like the way it looks, and I just don't like any of the hollows in general, to be honest. But that's just me. The stock that you're going to want to use, it's going to be the ULSS. It's 100% the best stock if you're going to run an MPX. This is the stock you're going to use. Nothing else comes close. And it's super cheap, $58 or $13K. The stats on it are minus 43% to recoil, plus 2 to ergo. I think there's, oh yeah, the charging handle. Use the SCH charging handle. It's plus 2 to ergo. We're going for ergo here. This is really the only one you're going to want to use anyways, to be honest. The default one is trash, and I don't think there is another one after that. In total, this build, including the MPX itself, which is, I believe, 50k rubles. Let's see, yeah, 50k or $364. Total, it comes out to around 470,000 rubles, or $850. And again, that price may vary depending on if you do or do not have level 4 traders for Mechanic and Peacekeeper. And the grip that I use on this is the Shift. It is plus 11 ergo, minus 2 recoil. It is relatively cheap if you have Peacekeeper at level 4, $149. 40k if you don't. It's not too bad. 40, 47k. It's not bad. Again, I'm going for ergo. If you want recoil, hit up the RK2 minus 5 recoil. Boom, you're good to go on the recoil. If you're, if you go M-lock 14-inch handguard, I would probably go the RK2 grip because you're probably looking for that recoil reduction.